Tony has joined us too. Wonderful.
Good evening.
Okay.
There we go.
We're waiting for the recording to start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 9th meeting of the Milpitas Energy and Environmental Sustainability Commission. This is a special meeting that replaces the last month's meeting, which did not occur due to lack of quorum. But today we have a quorum and we can go ahead. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. All righty, can we have the roll call, please?
Sure. We'll go ahead and get started with that. I don't see Commissioner Badesha today. Vice Chair Kong?
Here.
Commissioner Lingle?
Here.
Let's see, Commissioner Martinez? Do not see her yet. Commissioner Salian?
Yeah.
And Chair Sexton?
Here.
And Commissioner Shreve has a conflict with the school district. Let's see, do we have either of our alternate commissioners, Commissioner Edmana or alternate Commissioner Hogg?
Okay, thank you,
But
Elaine.
we do have a council member Chua.
Wonderful. All right, we have enough to get started. I'd like to ask for a motion for the approval of the tonight's agenda. Hopefully you've received it and read it. Do I hear a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Thank you, Vice Chair Kong. Do I hear a second for that motion?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Lingle. Elaine, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Vice Chair Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Lingle,
Aye.
Commissioner Salian,
Aye.
and Commissioner Sexton.
Aye.
Great, that
Motion
passes
passed.
unanimously. Thank you.
Great. And now could I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the last meeting, which was on September 15th?
I motion to approve our last meeting minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner Lingle. Do I hear a second to that motion?
I will second the motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Kong. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Sure. Vice Chair Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Lingle,
Aye.
Commissioner Salian,
Aye.
and Chair Sexton.
Aye. Motion passes.
One thing on that, in the notes, I had a question about the status of the landfill organic waste. We've got goals for 2020 to be 50% of that of 2014. I would like to know if that data has been collected, if it can be shared.
Yes, I'm sorry, Commissioner Lingle. I think Mevan did provide me a link to the statewide report. So let me, I'll send that out after tonight's meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Linda, do we have anyone who would like to make a public comment?
We do not have any attendees, but Chair, I will let you know throughout the meeting.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let's move on to announcements. Do we have any announcements this evening? All right.
Chair Sexton, I
Yes.
just wanted to share an update from the quarterly South Bay Odor Stakeholder Group.
Oh, that would be very good if you could give us the update. Thank you, Vice Chair Kong.
So we had a meeting last month in October, and there is a report from the Bay Area Air Quality Management District that the odor attribution study that has been going on for over a year, they will do a full presentation in the January meeting. So I will want to make sure that when I have the invitation for the January meeting, it's going to be at 10:30. I would like to forward that to the commission, because I think for all of you to be able to receive that presentation directly from the consultants that they have hired would be very beneficial. So I'll share that. Secondly, there is also an uptick in the number of odor complaints that is very drastic change from the year prior to the current year based on the same sampling duration of July to November to September. During that period last year, there were only about 19 complaints, and then suddenly this period, July to September, there were 333 complaints, and the air quality inspector actually had to issue a new public nuisance violation. So I just wanted to bring that up because I think that is a negative change that has happened this summer that we have not seen in a while. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you for the update, Vice Chair Kong. Tony, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to piggyback on Vice Chair Kong's update from the South Bay Order Group that in addition to the BACMed staff providing an update in January, Public Works staff who've been working on the community pilot study will also be providing an update to council in February. The plan is to have BACMed and our Public Works staff provide a presentation at the same time. So just wanted to piggyback on that great notice there and to let folks know that we also have an update coming your way as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Yes, two meetings that sound very interesting, and I'll be attending those. Vice Chair Kong, the link for the January BACMed meeting, you can just forward that to Elaine, and she'll be able to include it into our meeting minutes.
Sounds good. I'll do that. Thank you.
All right. Any other announcements? All right, let's go ahead and move on to our business items. Tonight, we are going to be discussing the work plan for our commission for next year. So you've received the current year's work plan. And Elaine, would you like to lead us in the discussion of creating a list of new items or what should go into the 2022 work plan?
Sure, I'll just kind of revisit the process that the commission has been following and that that all commissions are following. So as you recall, every I guess from October through December, all the commissions are tasked with developing their work plan for the next calendar year. Those get forwarded to the council for council's approval, and then the commission can begin the work that's on the work plan for the following year. Typically, that's done in kind of two meetings. There's a first kind of brainstorming meeting where the commission identifies the key topics that it wants to and things that it wants to work on. And then we as staff take that back and look at calendaring it in case there's any other complementary staff projects that are going on. And then we bring back a draft calendared work plan to the commission for their, for your review and approval and recommendation to forward that over to council. So we're on track to do that, do the initial brainstorm tonight. We'll bring something back for you all to review and approve at your meeting, your regular meeting next week, and then it's scheduled to go and be forwarded to council in one of their December meetings for the council approval. I think, just a reminder that the topics and the items that you work on should be relevant to the commission's mission. And I guess a reminder that there is a small budget for the commissions. Each commission has $1,000 budget for the year that you can spend on an event, on some campaign of your choosing. I don't think this commission's actually utilized that in the past. We had, I think, tried to use it for Earth Day back in 2020. That was canceled at the beginning of the pandemic, but there are some opportunities for the commission to utilize some of that funding to support your education and potential outreach efforts. Things that if you look at this work plan that was approved, we've covered most of these topics. Sometimes we, because of the alignment with other projects going on, they could shift a month or two, but it's a good guide for the work of the year. And then with that, I'll just hand it over to you all to brainstorm what you would like to work on next year.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Elaine. I'd like to ask for each commissioner to take your turn to bring up topics that you think are relevant for our commission to work on next year, and we can discuss them and see whether we'd like to get them on the work plan. So could I call on Commissioner Lingle? Do you have any items that you would like to propose for our work plan?
Yes, let's see. Okay, so since we've gotten the climate action plan, understood and the survey nearly complete and all that, there was a lot of options that they solicited there for us to consider as a city. And I would really like to, dwell more on that, those options on how to, reach our goals based on where we are. We kind of left it, open as far as those options. And I would like to at least have, an update on where things are, where the city is and the city council is, on moving forward on some of their suggestions. So certainly I'd like to, come back to the climate action plan, update and next steps. Let's see, another is I don't believe, I've looked through the agendas and the minutes. I don't believe we ever heard back from Silicon Valley Clean Energy.
Oh.
I definitely want to hear back from them. They've changed some of their net surplus compensation rules. I would love to, know more about, what's happening over there. So yeah, if we can, renew a goal to have them, drop in, that would be really be good. Mm-hmm. Let's see, just the Commissioner Tong's point about the new complaints on odor just underscores we still have work to do on that. Let's see, another aspect of that is there are now new flooding predictions, sea level rise predictions. And I would like to understand more about, I guess, a more accurate depiction of how our landfill to our east, to our west, is going to survive, any kind of swells or surges like that. Especially considering, the chemistry and the groundwater, situation there, right there on the bay. It would be good to, I don't know, go a little. I don't know what this really is, how it actually, shows up on our list of topics, but I think we need to, understand more about that landfill and, the risks there. let's see, and maybe how it compares with our, the landfill that we participate in. It would be good to, maybe hear from both, or, background about both as a comparison. Let's see, I really enjoyed the legislative review. I do want to, renew that, as I don't know, the season warrants. I'm not sure exactly what the timing is, but I think, having a say there is really good. Last one is it looks like the California PUC is considering some changes with regards to I guess discounts or credits for solar. And I do want to, I don't know, along the lines of, a legislative review or having the city have a say. I wonder if we can have the city have a say to the PUC as well. I wonder if there's, something more, we as a city might be able to do there too. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Lingle. That's a good list. I would like to see if there are any comments from the other commissioners regarding any of the items on Commissioner Lingle's list. Okay, I'd like to sort of add from my list, somewhat similar to Commissioner Lingle's, the CAP Climate Action Plan next steps. And we normally have an update from Silicon Valley Clean Energy each year, so definitely keep that on. And we normally have an odor monitoring report each year, so I would second that. The sea level rise effect on the nearby landfill is an interesting topic, and I would like to have some input from staff to see whether that is a topic that that we could add. I believe the legislative review is normally is about mid-year towards fall to once the state legislature has issued the bills, and then before they vote on them. So I think since we did it for the first time this year, I think that we had some really good discussion regarding that. So I think keeping that for next year's work plan would be good. And it's interesting. I hadn't heard about the California Public Utilities Commission proposed changes to the solar for solar customers. So that might be good. I myself have a few other items, but I'd like to give Commissioner Salian. Do you have any items that you would like to discuss for the work plan?
Yes, there's only one. I mean, there was two items, but then you already spoke about the order. So we have the other one is the water. How are we gonna ration the water? Now the water is being 35% cut and all those things. How are we gonna kind of look into this,
Okay. Great. Yes, I think water conservation is a good topic. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the start of this rainy season bodes well for the continuing to have showers so that our reservoirs can get refilled. But we never know. And of course, the future is that we will have to, water conservation will have to be even more important in our lives, because we expect many more droughts in the future and extended droughts also. So I think, yes, water is a good idea. Any other items, Commissioner Saline, before we move on?
No, okay, now about this water, I wanted to make sure, is this the drought or the population? What is the factor in this?
I think that's both, but we're not going to be discussing the topics tonight. We are trying to gather the topics to put on our list of subjects that we want to discuss next year.
Okay, yeah, because I was just thinking the population in Milpitas has gone so high.
Yes, I think when we start discussing water usage next year, then that would, it definitely is worth talking about also. So thank
Okay,
you for bringing that up. Vice Chair Kong, do you have anything on your list?
Yes, I do. I have a few. One is with the building which building which codes. My understanding is that there will be a new code for 2023. So it will be good to include in our work plan in 2022 to start recommending, what are the standards that we would like to make sure that, we recommend to council. So correct me if I'm wrong, Elaine, is that the right cycle?
Yes, yeah, the next building code cycle will be an update in 2023, effective January 1, 2023. So we will be looking at reach codes and local amendments to that next year.
Okay.
Elaine, my understanding of the development cycle for Title 24 building codes is that it's a 3-year cycle, and normally at least 6 months before the implementation of the new codes, the codes are set. So there's a, I think at least a 6-month period where there are no more changes to the code for the new codes, but they are being introduced, and the education for the new codes are start happening, so that at the beginning of when they become effective, then everyone is up to speed. So
Correct.
When is the time to give input?
So the state is has a draft of the 2023 building code out now. But it's not finalized yet. So once that gets finalized, then local jurisdictions can decide to adopt local amendments, otherwise known as reach codes, that are stricter than the state code. And so that will happen during the course of 2022, I believe. If there are reach codes that go beyond the state code for energy requirements, there's a petition to the CEC to review and approve those. And so those will be, that will really start happening summer, fall of 2022.
Okay, great.
And then the council has to take action by November, I believe.
All right, great.
And then for CAP update, I would like to make sure that we keep that. That's a big deal. And along the line of CAP update, I think one of the biggest problem continues to be transportation. So I have 2 items that I hope this commission is willing to discuss. One is encouraging a hybrid or work from home policy where it's feasible. So that way our city can be a role model in terms of reducing vehicle miles travel. And second is perhaps I would like to also see a discussion or an update from staff regarding the microtransit program that the city is piloting. Because I understand that there is $1.3 million that was approved a few months ago towards that program. And it would be good to understand the impact to how much our folks, our community is able to leverage this public transportation and reduce their personal vehicle usage.
Commissioner Kong, just so I can clarify, you're speaking about the on-demand shuttle pilot?
That's correct.
Okay. You said micro transit, and usually micro transit also includes like scooters and shared bikes. So I just want to make sure it's the shuttle that you wanted an update on.
Correct. It's the shuttle service program that
Yep.
they're getting funding from the county.
Okay.
And so that's a 2 transportation item. And then the third one would be a periodic update on the garbage and recycling services, including the SB 1383. I think we do that twice a year before. If we can continue that, that would be great. I definitely want to see the response as far as how, I know that Council Member Chua has taken the leadership. I'm not sure if the Council Member Chua, you're the one, or another council member also kickstarted a pilot program with the, what do you call it, the dump boxes. I mean, there is like a big
The neighborhood cleanup, the
Yes.
dumpster day events.
the dumpster day, and it would be great to see a consolidation of the kind of different services that we are adding on to the existing residential or commercial garbage services. At the same time, still encourage people to make sure that we prioritize waste reduction and making sure that we actually can meet 1383 goals.
Okay, thank you very much, Vice Chair Khan. Good list. Everyone has already hit on the remaining items on my list. So we've talked about the cap. Yes, low carbon transportation is on my list also. And I'd like to make sure that we have a good discussion on the electrification, which I think is part of the REACH code, or it's sort of the same topic. But electrification is a big topic that I think we should have spend a lot of time on to make sure that we understand it, as well as we support and implement the work that needs to be done to promote electrification. Commissioner Lingle, I see your hand is up.
Yes, let's see. I thought of, well, I saw one more and then I thought of another one. Let's see, Earth Day planning, hopefully 2022, we will be back live and we'll have some kind of a outdoor street event or some kind of an event. I do want to, keep that earmarked. But another one is, we just passed this infrastructure bill, as well as this new one that's still under consideration. If these bills do pass, and go all the way through, I'd like to, some kind of a session where we come to understand if any of those funds, come into the city, and then what kind of plans we have for sustainability in the city off of those. So just another earmark on that one too. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussions around the topics that Commissioner Lingle has brought up?
I definitely second what Commissioner Lingle has mentioned about the infrastructure bill, because I think this is where our city might have the opportunity to get a lot more funding from the federal if we act early and engage our representative at the federal government level. So I
Thank
definitely.
you, Vice Chair Kong. Councilmember Chua, you have your hand up.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. For the question of Commissioner Kong, yes, it was me who added that there's going to be a pilot project to, instead of one big item, look into maybe 3 big items and reduce the number of times the residents can have it, maybe from 4 to 2 or something like that. So Elaine and the staff, Tony, they did a great job. I think 2 meetings ago or last meeting, they did an update on the neighborhood cleanup, which is otherwise known as the dumpster day. And that was a good statistical analysis of what happened the last 4 months that we did the dumpster day. There were like 170 tires that were collected and 160 mattresses. And you can just imagine what could have happened if we didn't get those. They could be somewhere all over Milpitas Street. So it's really a good program. And for the on-demand shuttle, I think Vice Chair asked about this one too. And that's coming up soon. We did I think beginning of next year, right, Elaine?
Actually, Councilmember Chu, I'm not exactly sure of the schedule for rolling that out, but I can connect with Jay Lee, who I think is the project lead for that on the city. And we can have Jay come by and like give an update.
Oh, okay. And also maybe to send out the statistics, the statistic that you did to all the
yes,
commissioners.
we can do that. Mm-hmm.
That would be, it's a good data to derive some conclusions. And what else? Oh, you have $1,000. So I was thinking one of the, you might be able as one of your projects to do an outdoor event. Elaine and I had a meeting today because I have the board meeting of SBCE tomorrow, and Elaine and I usually meet before then. So you can spend $1,000 to maybe have an event and give away some Elaine's idea electrical strip. It's a way to reduce your what do you call that? Even though you're not using, if you're
Standby load?
The plug loads, yeah.
Yes, it reduces or it maybe eliminate the load. You can use that as an outdoor project for you guys. That would be wonderful. And we are into education, awareness of reducing our carbon footprints and decarbonization. I think that's a good way to get the residents kind of excited. And yeah, it's up to you for just giving that out to consider. It shouldn't be too hard to do. You just need in fact, you can even do that at if they allow it, I don't know, maybe a follow-up. You can do that at the Holiday Magic on Main Street. Maybe have a table. We have to clear it with Renee and Ashwini, if that's allowed. But that would be a good project for the commission to look into. And it's easy to do, you know. You can even go to the farmer's market on Sunday and have a table. I can arrange that because I know the manager now because we've done a few, like the firefighters were there during a couple of Sundays ago. and the Milpitas Police and the Office of Emergency Services. We can have a table there and give away those electrical strips. Is that what's called? That would be a good way as well. So that's my recommendations. And I'll do it at my report later on some of
Okay.
it.
Thank you, Councilmember Chua.
Thank
Yes,
you.
the use of smart power strips can be helpful. It's not always, it just depends on how you use them. And if Elaine, if you think that it's possible to move ahead with something like that, I'll be happy to volunteer to work with you, because in the past I have done tabling and for that kind of work, and it's actually very good if there is a source of electricity at the table to be able to demonstrate exactly how to use a smart power strip, because a lot of people, you know, they hear the idea and they like it, but then, you know, if they take it home, they could actually not use it to the best, in the best situation or to their benefit.
Chair Sector.
Yes, Councilmember Chua.
You can do for an intro before you do the event. You can even do a video on how to do it right.
Oh, there's actually several videos,
Okay.
you know, on YouTube and things, you know, there's, yeah, several, but when you're actually giving away the smart power strip, sometimes because it's a giveaway, someone will just take it and not really understand how to use it, even though, of course, the instructions are on the packaging. I've known in the past where people get these giveaways and either one, don't use it, it just sits unused at home, or they use it, but they plug in the things in the wrong sockets, and you don't get the actual energy savings results that you want. So
is there a way, maybe, I don't know, we have to check with legal, is there a way like they can sign something? Can we call you? How effective? Can we do a survey or something like that?
I think if it's not possible to actually demonstrate it, then adding a little tag on each giveaway with a YouTube, you know, pointing to a YouTube video of how to use it properly would be good.
Okay, we'll think of something that they should use it.
Okay.
That's one brainstorming item that the commission can think about.
All right.
Good.
Great, thank you. The great additional ideas, it's actually ticked off several others on my list, you know, Earth Day. I also had the litter pickup or the neighborhood cleanup days on my list also, because for, you know, keeping our waterways clean and for various, for the aesthetics of our city. Definitely, I think those are worthwhile events. As well as I had water conservation on my list. When we get to the topic on water, if we could also add an update on the rollout of the new water meters, that would be great. What kind of results we're seeing from the new water meters, that would be very good. And then the last item on my list, and I'm not quite sure where it goes, but if there's some way that we could talk about plastic contamination and figure out how to, you know, either on the state legislation level or, you know, just the local, how to deal and how to reduce plastic contamination. I think that's a topic that's very relevant for our commission.
Yeah, I think we can roll that into one of the two recycling and garbage / SB 1383 updates.
Okay,
We can go over some information and statistics from MSI on contamination rates and plastics.
okay, thank you. And that brings up my comment regarding the Milpitas sustainability newsletter that went out. Very well written, and I especially enjoyed the links to the to MSI, Milpitas Sanitation, talking about how to segregate the different materials going into our recycling stream. And I like the topic where it says something like, are you wish cycling? And I read through that and I thought, oh my goodness, yes, there are some things that I'm putting into the recycling bin that I guess are actually not recyclable, even though they have the recycling, label on it. And so it looks like it is recyclable, but for Milpitas Sanitation, it's not a recyclable item. And so it's me wishing that it's recyclable, but it's actually not. So the wish cycling topic was very helpful for me. So thank you very much for including that in in the most recent Milpitas sustainability newsletter.
And to add to that, Chair Sexton, you remember when we reviewed the legislative bills, SB 343, which is the truth in labeling for recycling materials, that bill has been approved by the governor. So it's going to be effective in 2024. So we should see a big improvement in the way that things are labeled. So hopefully that will reduce the amount of recycling that's happening around California.
Thank you for making that point, Vice Chair Kong. Yes, 2024 can't come soon enough for me when it comes to that particular labeling, because I find it very frustrating when I look at the containers and the I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, and then I find out later on that no, because of where I live, it's not it's not a recyclable container. So very frustrating. So yes, we have a couple more years to go, and hopefully the implementation of that particular change will actually result in improvements, and for it not to be too costly to do that. Commissioner Salian, you have your hand up.
Yes. Okay. I have a question. Is that this new smart meters which they are installing, because one was installed this afternoon at my house, and
The water meter you're talking about?
the water meter, yeah, the smart water.
Mhm.
So what is the exact purpose for this?
So the smart water meters were part of our water savings project. And so the purpose is to replace outdated water meters with new smart meters that are more accurate, and also reduce the need for manual meter reading. One of the things we'll also be rolling out in early 2022 connected to the smart water meters is a customer portal where you can view your water use information and trends, and then you will also be able to get alerts if you have a water leak, if water usage is kind of ongoing when it shouldn't be happening. You'll get an alert that you might have a water leak in your house. So it really is an effort to be more efficient in how we are using and metering water use.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. I really am looking forward to the customer portal so that I can see my water usage sort of ongoing rather than waiting 2 months after I use the water and trying to
I
remember.
know,
back
I wish I
what was
had that. I
going
live in
on.
San Jose and I went on San Jose Water's website and they don't have that yet.
Okay. Yes, that will definitely be helpful. More timely feedback on that.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. So that takes care of my list. Elaine, do you have, are there any items that we've discussed so far that you'd like to follow up on or you have questions on?
I don't think so. I think everything was pretty straightforward. And I think there's some good topics. I think the only one that may be difficult, and we'll work on it, is the sea level rise impacts on the landfill. Just because we aren't the owners or operators of that landfill, it might be hard to get that information, but I think we can also use it as an opportunity just to talk about sea level rise, vulnerability and risk just in our area until to Milpitas. So we can see if we can steer that one in a way that is useful. I understand the concern about the landfill, but we'll see if we can get some information on that too.
Okay, great. Thank you. There's one item on our current year's work plan, which is scheduled for next month, and that's the potential green gardening program. And I didn't know whether will we be able to get to that this year, or should we move it over to 2022?
That's actually probably a good one to move over to 2022. Because I think I think the topic next week, and for December, will be an update and a review of the draft climate action plan update. So let's go ahead and roll that one over to 2022.
Great. And I am looking forward to getting the CAP update.
And then now that you pointed out, is there also interest in discussing a citywide garage sale still? That's on for November as well for this year.
Okay. Sure, we can discuss that either at next week's meeting or in December.
Okay.
I'm still interested in that topic because I know that there was a community member that actually did one this year without any funding from the city, and it was very well attended. So I'm not sure if we can also invite that community member to be part of that discussion, because it was very successful, I would say.
Okay, sounds good. And oh, and I see that we'll probably we would probably hear from get an update on the street sweeping pilot program also.
Oh yeah, sometime next year. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, that's a good one too.
Sounds good. Okay, I think that we have a lot of items to fit into our work plan, and I look forward to seeing how you can put that into 11 meetings for next year. That could be the challenge on that. Okay, any other discussion on this topic?
I'm gonna paste in our chat a link to an NBC report about seawater rise that they recently did. It was a report that was made on NBC News last week. So
Actually, Vice Chair Kong, go ahead and send me the link and I'll forward it out to the commission. We're not, we don't use the chat in our Zooms. They're restricted. So the best way to communicate is to come through me.
okay, sounds good. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it was just that I read the paper behind it, and it is a remarkable update. And it's funny. And this was what triggered my curiosity. I've said this all along about our landfill to the west. It is phenomenal that they're somehow able to survive the upcoming possible floods. And if they aren't, what is the outcome? I'm absolutely. I'm wondering if this is going to turn into a super fund. I don't know, but yeah, that immediately came to mind when I read that paper.
Yeah, sea level rise is a really big issue for our near future. That's for sure. It's going to have lots of impacts. Yeah. Okay, so I believe we have completed our discussion on the 2022 Commission work plan. I'd like to move on to city liaison reports. So Elaine, do you have any?
We can start with Councilmember Chua.
Okay, Councilmember Chua, can you give us your report?
It's just going to be, thank you, Chair. It's just going to be brief. I introduced an initiative to start adopt a park. You know, we have 36 parks in our city, and I'm looking for a family and individual or organizations to adopt one. And it's not to clean the park. It is just to see like if the light bulb is out, or if there's trash, or if there's like illegal dumping on the, it's like a guardian, just to make sure that the park is okay. That's the way, that's how I envision it. And maybe 3 or 4 times a year, sponsor a cleanup of the park. That's what I'm thinking. So if you're close to a park and you're up to it, please sponsor one. Email me, let me know, and that would be wonderful. So that's one of my initiatives lately. There are a few more, but one of the things that I'm excited about, because the SBCE is trying to focus on decarbonization at the customer level. So all your work plan, we might be able to merge with their goals and objectives, and maybe we can get some funding. So be ready. And I heard that Elaine and Chair Sexton had, you guys met with SVCE personnel about your recommendations for a pilot project. And I'll bring that up again tomorrow, because I want to get some funding for that one, short and long term. And what else? Oh, one of the things that I asked for, because we didn't do a commissioner's appreciation for the last 2 years. So I asked, did I mention this already? So I asked the council to give all commissioners a sweater with your name and your commission. And it's kind of like an appreciation for doing the jobs that you guys are doing so well. And hopefully we'll get it soon. So I'm excited about that. It's maybe a zip-up sweater or something. And that would be good thing to have during the holidays, I'm hoping. So we'll see. So I'm excited about that too. For Elaine, can you, when I was on the planning commission, I know we don't, you can, even if can you follow up on this for me? Even though your term is up, but if there's no replacement, you still continue to perform.
Correct.
Right?
I did confirm that with the city clerk's office
you
a while
did?
ago. Yes.
Perfect. That's good. Also, if can you follow up on the commissioners that have missed the meeting for more than three meetings? And I don't know the protocol, but they need to be aware that they have missed meetings more than 3 times. consecutively and find out their intentions. So that's it. Thank you all. Thank you for a good work plan. Looking forward, and I'm excited for SBC's board meeting tomorrow because I have a lot of stuff that I can raise based on your feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Chair.
Councilmember Chua. That's thank you for your enthusiasm and the hard work and the amount of initiatives and really good ideas that you work on. I find it so refreshing that you can keep all the balls juggling in the air.
Because we have good commissions. We have good staff. We have Tony and Walter and Elaine. Sometimes we don't see, sometimes we don't see the behind the scenes, how things are getting done. It's just, it gets done. So it's our team. So
Yes,
I'm
I think
really proud of it.
Yes.
Continue the good work, you guys.
Thank you very much. Yes, I think that the staff and the this commission were sort of getting on board and working together. And I have to say that I've been on the commission for a few years now, and it took me a while to really, understand how to participate. And so I think that it does take a while, and the more commissioners that we have that are sort of engaged in this process and participate actively definitely helps the quality of work that we get done. So thank you very much. All righty, Elaine, Tony, Linda, do you have any reports to share with us?
Tony, do you want to start? Or I'll start.
You go for it, Elaine. You got this.
Okay. We do have a upcoming sustainable landscape class. It is next week on the 15th. It's drip irrigation for beginners. So, encourage everybody to sign up for that. Drip irrigation is a very efficient way of watering in your garden. And doing it in a way where you don't even have to think about it if you can put it on a timer as well. And I think I did want to give you all an update, and I'll steal Tony's thunder on this one, but we will be starting mobilization and construction on the solar microgrid projects at the senior center and the community center later this month. That is a project that we are both very proud of and can't wait to get that kicked off. It will be very much a demonstration project and something we can be very proud of having in our community. So it will be solar as well as backup battery storage so that our facilities can continue to operate and serve as a resiliency center in case of power loss in our community. So we're looking forward to that. So don't be grumpy if there's construction fencing around the facility for the next few months, but we expect the project construction to go through mid-February of 2022. So there will be a few months where it's construction fencing in different parts of the facility, but it's all for a good cause.
Thank you. That's a great project, and I look forward. It's good for the city to have a center that won't go down when the larger grid goes down. So thank you very much for putting that together. All
I
righty.
think that's all I have for now. I don't know, Linda, do you have any updates or events to share?
Just that we are continuing to see Milpitas residents conserve water. We have conserved, I believe it's 16% since 2019 and 12% since 2020 for the last month. And I know we did get those rains in October that helped as well. So we are seeing our messaging, and want to thank you guys for helping us get the word out as well. So hopefully we can continue to see rain and water conservation.
Thank you. Good news. I'm glad that we're seeing a bit more water reduction. And what was the goal that we were trying to achieve?
We're looking at a 15% reduction.
Okay, from 2016,
From 2019.
from 2019.
From 2019 per Valley Water, and then the state actually has a different comparison year. They're comparing it to 2020. So
Okay. All right.
we are close on
we're
both
either
fronts.
there or very close.
Yes.
So good, good. So we'll all keep it up and do a bit more too. Great. Any other items that need to be brought forth at this meeting? All right. Well, seeing as that we have completed our agenda for today, I want to thank everyone's hard work and participation. And I will call for adjournment of this meeting and look forward to seeing you again next week at our regular monthly commission meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. See you.